Theater chain AMC is close to bankruptcy, according to a Fox Business News report. AMC closed its doors nationwide in mid-March. The chain said it would close for 6 to 12 weeks. Well, now at least one Wall Street analyst says bankruptcy is a distinct possibility. Already the AMC Theater in Southfield has said it was closed permanently.
Let's stop it there. What's up, everybody? Doriso here for another episode. You heard the report. AMC Entertainment Holdings is considering filing for Chapter 11 bankruptcy. Over the past few days, bankruptcy appears likely, and analysts have downgraded AMC stock from neutral to sell. AMC Entertainment shares were down 20% and closed at $2.08 at the time of this recording. In this episode, I wanted to play a couple of clips with AMC's Chief Executive Officer, or CEO for short, and his viewpoints on the movie theater industry, as well as a few of my thoughts on the industries hit hardest from the recent shutdowns, including hotels, cruise lines, casinos, and airlines. At the end, I'll give you my opinion of AMC stock and if I'll be buying AMC stock at these low levels. To wrap up, I'll end with a quick update of my stock portfolio that I'm growing from zero to infinity. If you're building a stock portfolio as high as possible too, then click that like button and subscribe if you want to join in on the journey. There's plenty of room in the rocket ship on your screen. Let's get straight to it. On March 19, 2020, AMC's CEO went on CNBC and discussed the challenge with closing U.S. theaters for 6 to 12 weeks. A major issue a lot of companies are dealing with right now is there's no money coming in right now. Let's play the clip.
Well, I'm here not only as the CEO of AMC, but also as a representative of our industry, given that we're the largest movie theater chain in the country. The reality is we need relief right now, and there's a simple reason why. We have fixed costs. You can be sure we're trying to lower those fixed costs, but because literally every movie theater in the country is shut or shuttering, there are no revenues coming in the door, and the country's banking system is just overwhelmed with companies seeking additional liquidity at the moment. So we're going to have to get liquidity from someplace if we all, in our industry, if we all have expenses and none of us have revenues.
Companies like AMC are shut down and still have thousands of employees to think about and still have bills to pay each and every month. Many companies in the current no revenue environment will end up filing for bankruptcy. With movie theater closures at hand, a company like AMC may not have the liquidity to remain afloat and may file for bankruptcy. CEOs will be doing their best to have a company for employees to get back to work. This clip was also back on March 19, 2020. Here's the video.
We've got 27,000 employees in the United States. We're paying them as much as we possibly can afford to pay them. For those who are in our health plan, we're keeping them in the health plan with their benefits active for the full time that we are shut. But my focus is as much on making sure there's a company for them to come back to. As I said, just AMC alone is 27,000 American workers. And I'd like to make sure that this company, which has been strong for 100 years in the United States, stays strong, that we can reopen when the government tells us it's safe to do so for the public. So our focus is on having work for those 27,000 people 2-3 months from now when we can reopen.
The movie theater industry is just one of many industries dealing with challenges at this time. Many industries like cruise lines, hotels, casinos, airlines still have fixed expenses to pay out as each month rolls by. Employees need to be supported, rent is due, the list goes on. As an investor myself, solvency numbers are so important to review to make sure the company I'm invested in will weather the storm and have enough cash or credit to continue to operate for future years. It's all about having financial flexibility, especially in this market environment. If you own dividend stocks, you may want to make sure to review the cash on hand and the amount going out to confirm how long the business can survive, especially if revenues have halted. In the case for a movie theater stock like AMC, filing for bankruptcy may be in the plans. The CEO of AMC was back on CNBC on March 31st, 2020. These next couple of clips were from the same interview, providing an update of his positivity of getting back to normal later this summer. Will things ever get back to normal? No one really knows. As days turn to months and months turn to years, we will all learn how long it really took to feel like things were back to normal. Let's listen in to AMC's CEO.
Well, we are in uncharted times. None of us in our lives have lived through something like this before. The summer has always been one of the biggest movie seasons of the year, the summer and Christmas. And I would love to think that America will be enjoying summer movie season again at AMC theaters, open, welcoming our customers back.
When you invest in companies that have global exposure like AMC, CEOs and management teams get to learn how things are moving in different locations. With businesses located in China, a company like AMC gets to see how things play out once movie theaters are officially open. Here's the CEO's prediction on when he hopes things will open up in the United States. Let's listen in.
They tried to open theaters in mid to late March. That seemed a little, that would be 2 months basically. That seems to be a little too tight. That 2-month timing for us, we shut all of our US theaters, and we are the largest movie theater chain in the United States. We shut all of our theaters on March 17. So 2 months from March 17 is roughly mid-May. When we did shut, we said we expected to be shut for 6 to 12 weeks. That would be mid-May to mid-June, May 1 to mid-June. That might be the right timing. But nobody knows. We're all glued to our television sets, watching the news.
As mentioned, all types of businesses and industries have been closed and shut down during this time. Sports, hotels, cruise lines, casinos, airlines are just a few that have been closed or operating at limited capacity. The big question is which businesses will get the green light first to open. Will there be a priority on the travel business like airlines and hotels over entertainment businesses like sports, casinos, and movie theaters? What are your thoughts? Comment below if you think there should be a priority on which industries should be open first. Or do you think everything should be open at the same time? I'm curious to hear your thoughts. Let's tune in to some of the CEO's thoughts and opinions.
So many industries are temporarily shuttered. I, for one, was a very unhappy basketball fan when the NBA season suspended. And so many of us are disappointed, but the country is going to come back. How quickly, nobody knows. Exactly in what circumstance, we're all going to learn together. I do want to salute the Congress for passing the CARES Act, though. It's providing relief for our employees. It's providing relief for our communities, providing relief for small businesses, for large business. It will help various parts of the economy to come back. I do think entertainment will come back pretty quickly because people want to be entertained. I spent much of my career in the travel industry. I think the travel industry might come back a little slower, as might be expected. But, fast forward, not 2 weeks or 2 months, but let's talk about next year and the year after that and the year after that. America's going to be normal again. We're just going through an interruption, a very difficult, brutal interruption. But good times are ahead of us. I'm an optimist and believe that with heart and soul.
I thought this next clip hit on a great question about social distancing and capacity limits once things are back open. A movie theater business like AMC has many customers enter their establishment every single day. What types of safety protocols are needed to make sure every person that enters the business doors is safe? If you watched earlier episodes, you already know I'm a huge sports fan. How will major sports events like NBA basketball or NFL football implement these changes? Are fans required to sit 5 feet from the closest person? How about masks? Will everyone in a movie theater be required to wear a mask? Will temperature reading machines be used? Let's listen in.
Would you hand out masks at the door as people are coming in, the way theaters hand out 3D glasses now? Is that something that you would consider? Do you think it would help?
Look, I am very focused on getting AMC to the other side of this crisis. And one of the things we're already thinking about is how can we ensure that our theaters are safe? How can we give customers a sense that they're safe? We're already pricing out those temperature reading machines that you see in airports throughout Asia, where everyone coming in the door is scanned. And if someone has a fever, they may not get in the door. Cleaning is going to be very important at our theaters. We know this. Look, we're in the business of making smiles happen. We want to entertain and amuse people, and they can only be entertained and amused if they feel safe in that process. We're very committed to making sure that AMC offers an environment like that.
Since this episode was about AMC stock and other industries struggling at this time, I wanted to bring up a quick lesson. The lesson is that industries can always go from terrific to terrible. Just because an industry is getting bad is not a reason to invest in a specific stock. I prefer to wait for things to get better as times move along. At this time, I have no interest in AMC stock as one of my stock holdings. I personally think its balance sheet was weak before the crisis started, and AMC will have trouble keeping the lights on when it's time to reopen the movie theaters. I think streaming services like Netflix and Disney Plus will continue to gain market share in the movie business. I think Disney will continue to push movies to the streaming service faster than it normally would to drive Disney subscriptions. I don't believe people are loyal to the AMC brand like they are to an Apple brand or Starbucks brand. I think they are loyal to the closest movie theater to them. The only thing AMC theaters generally have going for them is the location. For that reason, I'm out. There's definitely a possibility AMC's current shares can be completely worthless, and there's also potential that in the short term, you might see swings up and down. Too risky for my blood. I'll keep my eye on the stock and the bankruptcy discussions closely, and I will keep you posted if my opinion changes over time. I do believe there are better buying opportunities long term. As I do in every episode, let's do a quick stock portfolio update. If you're new, I created this channel to consistently track, share, and document one of my stock portfolios and my journey from zero to infinity. I mark my progress in each YouTube thumbnail. Each video is meant to be watched in order, starting with episode 1 to whatever episode I'm up to in the future. Currently, we're up to a little over $3,800, and I haven't sold any stocks. I've only been buying stocks up until this point, even during the recent stock market crash. My goal is to continue to keep putting money in this stock portfolio on a regular basis so my holdings can continue to grow for years. By the time you know it, you'll notice my thumbnail balance will be much higher in the future than it is today. If you've been following along, my current stock holdings are Apple, Fiverr International, Starbucks, and Penn National Gaming. Just something to highlight quickly, Penn stock is in the casino industry, which has had a setback just like all the other casino stocks these past couple of weeks. I am bullish on Penn National implementing the Barstool brand in their hotels and casinos, as well as the launch of the Barstool Sportsbook app. I could easily reduce my cost basis in Penn stock position, which is right now at $26.03, but as mentioned, I want to wait for things to get better in the casino business before adding a large amount of shares. Who knows when sports will be back on TV? Who knows how soon people will be ready to go back to casinos? Right now, I prefer to stick with healthy balance sheets like Apple and Starbucks during this time. Earnings season is approaching, and any signs of a pullback in any of my stocks are welcomed in my opinion. Let's end it there. As always, this episode is not intended as investment advice. Do your own research prior to making any investments. Read the disclaimer on your screen fully. Remember, all opinions in this episode are mine and mine alone. I'm not a financial advisor, and this video is for educational and informational purposes only. Maybe I didn't earn your subscription with this episode, but there's always next episode. It's free to subscribe, and follow me on Instagram if you like to review stock charts like myself. My favorite comment from last episode is on your screen. Maybe you'll have the best comment in the next episode. Look out for it. I appreciate your time for this episode. Thanks again for watching. Remember, I'm just getting started. Let's keep building from zero to infinity. Peace.